Blessings, beings. It is an honor to connect with you and have your attention once again. I am very excited to finally be sharing this video topic. It's actually one that is much requested. I've been getting this request for like 9 months now since I last did ayahuasca, which, wow, that is very significant. It has been 9 months since I have done ayahuasca, and I actually have recorded this video multiple times, and twice to be exact, and both times the files were lost on my computer. I don't know, very interesting, but now I understand it's because it had to be 9 months after the cycle, like as long as it takes to create a baby inside of a womb. I now feel like fully ready and like integrated to actually share my story of my experience with ayahuasca with you guys. It has definitely been one of the most significant times I have experienced as this current form of Heather in this life. Definitely. So for those of you who are unaware, ayahuasca is a psychedelic elixir that is derived completely from Mother Earth. It is from what's called a capi vine and chacruna leaves, and they're mixed together, and they create this incredible psychedelic experience where you basically are able to connect deeper within yourself, with spirit, with source, just like immediately. And the ceremonies usually last, depending on how much you drink, like 4 to 8 hours. You like actually are having hallucinations and visions, and I'll get more into this, but it is a very significant experience. Often ayahuasca is referred to as a mother, and that is because the way that she presents the information to you, like about your life, about hidden subconscious, like untouched, untapped energies that are stored within you, she basically brings them to the surface, and the way that she does it is very motherly. It's very caring and beautiful and energetic. So that is a really big thing that I would like to include. It's not like a drug. It's not a drug. It's a medicine. A medicine that has been used to treat different ailments, different psychological disorders, even addictions. Some people do ayahuasca and they have completely rid themselves of their addiction to a substance like heroin or cocaine or things like that. It's not a type of drug where you do it like cocaine just to like get high. In my experience personally, I have done shrooms many times. I'm a strong supporter of shrooms, but I have yet to try any like chemical man-made substances. So I'm coming from a background where I use plant medicines. I also use cannabis, where I use plant medicines medicinally, and that was definitely my intent going into this, was to basically expand my consciousness and get to know myself better and understand myself better. And it definitely did that, for sure. So in order to prepare for ayahuasca, it definitely, again, it is a full experience. Usually you have more than one ceremony, and again, the ceremonies last from 4 to 8 hours, and you usually do it at night so that you're able to like have your full trip, be in like a watched area. You definitely want to do it with like a shaman. I personally went to Bahia Brazil, and it was absolutely incredible. I went to the Spirit Vine Retreat Center. I'll leave their link below. Absolutely incredible people, incredible food, incredible environment. It was absolutely beautiful. So in order to prepare, I wanted to make sure that my body was completely clean of any other energies. So a month prior, I cut out all stimulants. I cut out caffeine, cannabis, any sugar, any soy, and I'm vegan, so I already don't eat any meat or any dairy or any like animal products at all whatsoever. So I basically was just on like a plant and water diet. It's called the dieta, and you can look it up online if you're curious in doing ayahuasca. I've actually shared a blog about the dieta, the specific one, and my preparation for ayahuasca. I'll also link that. And so upon going to Brazil and upon going to the retreat, I was completely clean. I felt so good. Oh my God, I like felt incredible, by the way. As well as physically, I also made a point to clear out my life emotionally, mentally, financially, and materially. So I made sure that basically I was showing up in my life in my full authenticity, because I had been told before that ayahuasca basically brings like all of your shit out to the forefront so that you're able to kind of like take from it and understand where you need to rearrange your life in order to align yourself more and act in accordance with your highest self. So that's like the power of ayahuasca, what she does. So I wanted to just make sure that like I had my shit aligned and I had like everything on the right track, so my experiences with her could be more about like creativity and opening up new channels within myself and just like experiencing the universe with a new perspective. So I had 4 ceremonies at the retreat in Brazil, and it was out in the middle of the rainforest. There were 10 of us, and then we had a shamana, but she prefers more like a spiritual babysitter rather than a shamana, because she believes that you are the one that is to heal yourself, as opposed to many shamans believe that they are the ones who are going to heal you. But there's like an energetic attachment like associated with that. So the woman who guided me through ayahuasca, her name is Sylvia. I absolutely love you if you're watching this. And she had all of us gather, it was at nighttime, in like this little temple, a medicine temple. And it didn't have walls, it had mosquito nets, so you felt like you were outside. And all 10 of us gathered, and we all sat in the middle. We set our intentions as we had our elixir teas in our hand. We set our intention for ayahuasca and how we wanted to connect with her. So we ingest the tea sitting up, and you're suggested to sit up for at least 30 minutes just so you can allow the medicine to fully go in and work. And it's very often that ayahuasca causes one to purge. Like, pretty much every story you've ever heard about ayahuasca is how they were like puking and pooing at the same time. Like, yay, what a skill. Like, that's an experience in its own. Like, honestly, I was fine with having to be able to experience that, because if that's what I needed, then yeah. Because when you are releasing things from your body and you're purging, it's obviously energy and toxicity that you don't need in your body, and that is actually not good for you, and that is causing you harm and ailments. So if my body is telling me to release something, if that's the medicine that works through ayahuasca, then yes, I will release that. So I actually went into it like, okay, if I'm to purge, then I'm ready. And I think that's extremely important, because if you're not fearing something, then you don't have attachment to it, and then you usually don't experience it. Like, remember, we attract what we think about. Anyways, so as I started my experience, I started to feel an energy come through me, and I felt like a warmth, like she was like working her way within me. And I started to like kind of like move uncontrollably. Like I couldn't really stop myself from dancing, but I was sitting up just kind of like dancing, and there was music playing in the background, really activating music with incredible instruments like the didgeridoo and like drums, and just incredible sounds in the background that were also helping to stimulate the experience. And I started just like dancing uncontrollably in my spot, and it felt so good. And it felt like I was just completely reintegrating into my body and like celebrating this body that I am. After about an hour, I started hearing other people purging and throwing up in the rest of the room. Even though I was experiencing my own experience, I was also aware and conscious of what other people were experiencing. Not everyone's like this. Some people are completely in their own world where they're like imagining everything around them as like a completely different scenario. I was actually able to, throughout all of my experiences, be fully present and actually walk. I was the only one that was able to walk, but like walk around and like be outside with Mother Earth. And so yeah, I'll get to that. That was like my 3rd and my 4th experience. And I personally didn't feel like I had to purge, so I asked my body, I was like, are you ready to purge? Am I going to purge? Like, I'm ready to if it's time. And then a motherly like energy and voice came through me and actually took me on like a journey through my body, where my vision was turned inside, and I got to go through my body and see a visual appearance of my organs within me and how they were healthy and functioning properly. And I heard like a whisper saying, you're healthy, you just need to purge energy. And right then, that's when the yawns started. I started yawning, like huge yawns where I feel like my mouth would get like this big, and they were super deep exhales, and I actually felt energy coming out of my body. It was incredible. I felt like I was getting an energetic cleanse, so I was like, okay, this is my cleanse, I get it. Another vision I had that was epic, I was pregnant with a earth. I literally had earth within my womb, and I was like holding her and putting my hands around her, and then my heart started to become apparent, and it started expanding and like vibrating with this energy. And then this crystalline water came out and poured out of the heart onto the womb and onto the earth and was healing her. Like, she just started to become more vibrant and healthy, and like was just like expanding her energetic field. And I took it as like, this is my purpose, as I am definitely here to like be on a light worker mission to help heal Earth and its people in whatever way that I can. So like, just casually doing that without attachment. So that was really convenient to understand that about my life. So yeah, my first experience was absolutely incredible, so powerful. My second one, I traveled to my loved ones' lives and was kind of like this invisible body and saw them struggling with things and how I could better adapt my way of approaching the relationship and their situation to help and assist them. It kind of gave me like an overview perspective. My third one was the most intense. I had a full-on ego death. So as I explain this, many people may feel like, ooh, that sounds terrible, like how traumatic. It actually was incredible. And I was, again, like kind of calling in like the truth, like some depth, so that I could like really take a lot from it and progress from my experience. So I had a full-on ego death. So as the trip started, I was approached by a bunch of ascended masters, Buddha and some angels and like cosmic beings, and they put me in like this pond with lotus flowers, and I was kind of laying there and this darkness kind of came over me and was like, are you ready to receive some serious messages? And I was like, yeah. And they were like, know that you're supported and you're always protected. And I was like, all right, cool, thank you, I got you, appreciate it, let's do this. So the next vision was me covered in parasites. I was like covered in these like blood-sucking parasites that were like consuming all of this energy from me and like attacking me, killing me, eating me alive basically. And it was also really significant because before that experience, I was covered in mosquito bites in Brazil. Again, we were staying in the rainforest. We had mosquito nets, but I was literally covered in them. They loved my skin, probably because I eat lots of fruit, probably super tasty. And so this vision was even more significant because I actually felt like I was being eaten by parasites. And then my friend Sean, who was at the retreat center with me, came into the vision. He was helping me like pull these parasites off of me. And then I was like freeing myself from the parasites. And I took a lot from that because I was like, damn, I have lots of people who are basically sucking energy out of me and they're not serving me. Like, I gotta stop this. I gotta put an end to this. So that was a really good lesson. Then I had a vision of me actually standing at the pond at the retreat center, and it was an outside perspective where I was kind of like, it was like my higher self, my soul was watching Heather, observing Heather, standing at this pond. And then my light body actually detached from my like physical form as I was still standing there. My light body was standing over me, and then my light body took a knife and actually stabbed the physical form, and that was my ego body, actually killed itself. And the ego body fell to the floor and was in physical form and started to bleed out this like deep crimson liquid, and it started to flow all the way down to the lake. And the lake in real life is green, and it started to turn into this like deep red blood pool, and it was so intense. It was the blood of my ego. Then I saw my light body kind of come down from the sky and into the ground, and it walked to the pool, and it was becoming more of like Heather. Like, it was originally like an auric kind of form, and it started to develop more like Heather, and walked down and slowly went into the blood red pool and was kind of like getting this baptism in my own blood, and fully submerged itself into the blood pool and like allowed itself to die and be rebirthed in my own blood, in the blood of my ego. And then I watched my light body kind of come up, and it was much more whole. It looked completely like Heather. And then I saw the Egyptian entity of Thoth, and he was standing at the edge of the lake with his hand out. And slowly my light body started to walk up to what had transformed from my ego body into Thoth and took hands with it. So it was basically like my ego was now allowed to reconnect with my true self and work in conjunction with each other, so that there was no more duality. I basically had to experience the death so I could rebirth as one, and that's what happened. And so that was incredible. And again, when you're experiencing this, it's usually in extreme detail. So yes, it is a very extreme experience and it's very intense, but what, am I gonna fear my demons? Like, no, I want to see and I want to understand what it is that is hidden deep within my subconscious, so that I can bring it out to the surface and into the light and reintegrate it with myself. So it was incredible. Again, like, I loved it. I'm so grateful for it. It was one of my favorite experiences, me killing my own self and then rebirthing out of a pool of my own blood and connecting with my ego. Like, I get it. It all makes sense. It all makes sense. So for my fourth experience, we took half of the dose of the medicine that we were taking for our full experiences so that we were still able to be like coherent and walk, because we did the fourth one out in nature. This one was incredible. I got to swim in the lagoon that I had just killed myself in last ceremony. It was green this time, not red. I actually became telepathic with insects and like saved them from being trapped. So that was also significant. I was freeing myself. So yeah, basically all the visions that we have during these experiences, they are equipped with messages for us. And that's why often it takes a while to integrate the lessons that we learn from an experience like ayahuasca. Sometimes it takes 9 months. I mean, I'm still learning and understanding and comprehending what I was communicated to through ayahuasca, and it is still very apparent in my life. Often I feel her energies kind of like come through me, and when I'm like learning different life lessons, like completely sober, months later, I feel her like come in and being like, yeah, so now do you understand? Like she's a very motherly energy that stays with you. You know, when you ingest this plant tonic, it becomes you, just like our food and everything becomes us energetically as well as physically. So I feel like she kind of like stores within you and continues to like provide you understandings and messages for your life. And honestly, that's what I came back to Earth to do, is to better myself, understand more, feel more, express more, share more, awaken more, and enlighten more. So yeah, I absolutely had an incredible experience doing ayahuasca. If you feel like you're being called to do ayahuasca and you are receiving her call, that's actually the saying, when you are ready, she'll call you. So if you're feeling her energy and you're having a lot of people talking about ayahuasca and you're even watching this video and you feel like it would be beneficial to you, then you're probably receiving the call. And so the time will align when you're ready. And yeah, if you've done ayahuasca, I would love to hear your experiences. Comment below, and if you want to hear more psychedelic videos, also let me know, because yeah, I think I'm ready to start talking more about expanding the mind, expanding the psyche with psychedelics. Yeah, thank you beings all for watching. I appreciate you wanting to better yourself and wanting to better Earth, and if you're not doing that, then you will be, because you're getting the seed planted right now. Okay, I love you. Blessings.